Twitch-AfrofishOG. What is up, everyone? It's Taylor from AfrofishOG here, and today we are back again for part 4 of every Mario Kart 8 Deluxe course ranked by Shafrillis. So this is part 4. We'll be going through, what is that, 60 through 49? Yeah, because I'm doing about 12 courses each. So yeah, 60 to 49. Why is that so difficult? All right, but I guess not gonna worry about it no more. We're gonna get right into the video.
Park? Riverside Park is a pretty solid update to a really good course from Super Circuit. I like how instead of adding in generic obstacles like regular piranha plants or chain chomps, they decided to throw in patuis that drop items when you hit them. That's pretty neat. On top of that, it looks good graphically, has great music, the turns are pretty fun, and this last turn now taking place in a cave that leads to you bursting out of a waterfall. That's a pretty neat addition. I really like it. Not the craziest GBA update out there, but a pretty good one.
The shape of a Mobius strip.
The latest iteration of Mario Circuit that we've been stuck with for 9 years.
This one, okay, so I don't remember this course a whole lot. The only reason I remember it is because of Smash Bros. Whoa, goodness gracious. Forgive me. It's still early for me.
Is a pretty good one. Where does it rank among all the Mario circuits? Don't know, don't care. I'm not doing a ranking of those. But yeah, this one is good. Basically, the developer saying, what if Figure 8 Circuit was a real course? There's Goomba towers, ramps, shortcut opportunities through these sandy bits, and it makes neat use of anti-gravity, even if you're probably going too fast to even realize you're upside down. It was also a stage in Smash Bros. For some reason. Yeah, what a memorable and incredible stage that was. Unironically, the Smash version of Figure 8 Circuit clears. Anyway.
Maybe I'll do a Smash Bros. One basing off of like characters and I'll do my own based off of characters and the maps. The courses or the arenas. Yeah, that's what I'll call them, arenas. Maybe I'll do one of those. Let me know in the comments if you'd like to see like a Smash Bros. My ranking list.
Pretty good. One of the only Mario circuits I don't fall asleep on while playing. And you can even slam your head against the finish line while gliding. What's not to love?
I'm in love with the shape of
Yoshi.
Can somebody please explain to me why everybody picks GameCube Yoshi Circuit whenever it shows up online? Am I missing something? Because it's not so good that everyone needs to drop everything and choose it instead of much better options. I like this version of it, I really do. But I am so sick of it solely because of how many people pick it in online lobbies. Anyway, how's the course itself? Well, better than the DS version, that's for sure. They really fleshed out this little Yoshi-shaped island with a small town near the starting line, a sign for the Yoshi Tunnel, fruit trees, a waterfall at that one shortcut, and an overall gorgeous, aesthetically pleasing design. But I still kind of like the Double Dash version the best. I mean, the 8 version doesn't even have the Yoshi Copter. Come on! Plus, it's still missing that one cool shortcut, and as good as it looks, there was something about the simple color palette of the Double Dash version that suited this course a lot better.
Okay, I double-clicked there. I think the reason why he's saying he likes the other one, and especially with the colors, is maybe because the colors match Yoshi more. That simplistic green, you know? I don't know.
In my opinion. I feel like which version of this course you prefer mainly boils down to the aesthetic, since it pretty much always plays the same. And I'm a Double Dash Yoshi Circuit fan, thank you very much. This version's still good. Wouldn't have been my first choice from Double Dash for the original Wii U DLC, but it's a good, very charming interpretation of a classic course. Just please stop picking it online! Oh my god! God, I really hope I didn't offend the Yoshi Circuit community by saying that. Maybe I should let someone say some good stuff about it to atone for my sins. Captain Astronaut time!
Painting, sculpture, cinema, orchestra. All other art forms pale in comparison to video games. And you wanna know why? Because in Mario Kart, it's Yoshi Circuit and it's shaped like Yoshi. What else do you need in life? The original is iconic, and it's tremendously enhanced here. You got new hotness with the live super saxophone, and they kept old hotness with the long drifting turns, and the classic waterfall shortcut. But they did cut out the secret tunnel shortcut that only the real OGs remember. And they grounded the Yoshi Copter, so instead of a billion out of 10, I could only in good conscience rate it at a million out of 10. Sorry, Yoshi.
Lovely windmill, isn't it?
Oh, those kooky Dutch.
Okay, no offense if you live there, but I really don't think Amsterdam is a major enough world city to warrant getting a tour track. With that said, it's still better than a lot of other tour tracks, so I guess I can let it slide.
I'm not getting into this one. Nope, just another deluxe course. Nope, not doing it.
This is pretty varied and unique by city course standards, both in terms of the scenery due to the windmills and flower fields, and the layout since it takes you underwater through these canals. This is probably one of the most justified implementations of underwater driving in the whole game, since, you know, a lot of courses just shove it in there where it doesn't really belong. Here, it feels natural and adds a great flow, pun entirely intended, to the course. It's a very feel-good, solid track. Nothing crazy, and it definitely doesn't look as pretty as it wants to, thanks to Tor's plasticky art style. But I never really mind playing on it.
Clam fishing.
Piranha Plant Cove is pretty rad. It's a tour course that's split into 3 unique laps, much like the city tracks. The only difference is that this one is actually unique and cool and doesn't primarily just consist of road. The scenery is really neat. I love the look of these sunken ruins and all the references to PD Piranha. They probably should have just named the course after him and not just regular piranha plants, but oh well. There's unique obstacles like this giant eel, tons of elevation and terrain changes.
Why don't I remember this?
It's just overall a solid new addition. I wish the music was a little more memorable, and it's not one of the best original tour tracks, but it's a significant step up over Merry Mountain and Sky High Sunday at least.
The tide's coming in! Oh!
DS Cheap Cheap Beach is about as good as it was in its original iteration. Being able to take shortcuts underwater is really nice. Plus graphically, I mean like, wow. Amazing looking water in this course. But these elements don't really change my overall feelings on this track. It's solid, I'll never really object to playing on it, but I'll also never actively seek it out compared to others. It remains the textbook example of a good course, and not a whole lot more.
I would say it's more like, I feel like we're kind of blowing through these. I would say definitely like Peach Beach was my personal favorite one, but
Why's the road to ruin?
I've always enjoyed Thwomp Ruins for what it is. A fun, endearing, simple mushroom cup course. I guess you could argue that much like Water Park, its theme could have lent itself to a more precarious and difficult track. But that didn't happen since it had to stick within the confines of the Mushroom Cup. But while you certainly could have had more dangerous ruins to traverse through, the ones we got are pretty good. I love this section where you have an option between going underwater, driving on the walls, or gliding on this one ramp that only opens up after a stone wheel knocks down a wall. I'm a real sucker for track design that varies in between laps, so that's a cool detail. There's one shortcut right before the last glider ramp that's really badass to pull off, and the number of thwomps populating the course add to the danger as well. It's a fun track. Not an all-time favorite, but one of the better Nitro tracks in the...
Okay, so I would say that overall, this one is... It's good. Yeah. It's like a starter track, I think, so it's good.
base game.
After you've scrubbed all the floors in Hyrule...
Guys, we need to talk. You all know that I'm a massive fan of the Legend of Zelda series.
Don't do this to me, bro.
Right? It's one of my top 3 favorite gaming franchises of all time.
Don't do this to me, bro.
Up there with Pikmin and Persona. I have played and loved so many of these games my entire life.
He's gonna do this to me, bro.
And as a result, I was pretty much guaranteed to be a sucker for a crossover track between this legendary series and Mario Kart. So why am I not? Hyrule Circuit to me is easily the weakest of the big crossover tracks in Mario Kart. It's not bad, I still like it, but I don't love it. Not even close. And I'm a little confused as to how it won just about everyone else over. First, the positives. The music track rocks. It's a great rearrangement of the classic Zelda theme. They turned the coins into rupees and added a remix of the classic chest opening theme when the item roulette spins. Those are both
Don't forget that they have the Deku Babas instead of Piranha Plants, which I personally like the little touch.
amazing additions. And this puzzle section inside the castle where you have to hit all 3 switches in order to activate a secret boost in the center, that's incredible! What a perfect way to seamlessly carry over a gameplay mechanic of the Zelda series into Mario Kart gameplay. I like a lot of what this course does to capture the Zelda experience. But I'm sorry, over half of this level is just a grassy field. I know Zelda has a lot of those, but it isn't even modeled after a specific game's field, and neither is the castle. The puzzle is the only interesting part of the entire track design. It's cute that they remodeled Piranha Plants and Bats to be Deku Babas and Keys, but like, that's the entire hook of the second part of the track. a reskinned enemy we've seen already on a billion other courses. I just don't get much out of Hyrule Circuit, outside of tiny serotonin boosts when I land the puzzle shortcut or pick up rupees. There was infinite potential for a Zelda-themed racetrack, and I'm not a huge fan of how generic the final product was. But tons of people are, and that's awesome. More power to you. At the end of the day, I like the rupee sound effect, and that's all that matters. You know what? Screw the item box. I'm just gonna look inside this chest and see who I find in there.
I like that little, that's funny.
It's Swiftjar!
Hyrule Circuit, based on the Legend of Zelda series, is a true treat for Zelda fans. It takes you through Hyrule Castle, where you can collect rupees as coins, and you even get to touch the Master Sword as a shortcut. This track immerses you in the Zelda world, with Deku Barbers and keys to dodge, along with some very familiar sound effects from the Zelda series. There are also numerous hidden Zelda details in the course as well, and if that doesn't immerse you in the Zelda universe, the music definitely will. I just simply love this course.
Look, I'm Woody.
I can understand what he means by, like, it does feel kind of bare. Maybe, you know, certain things like seeing Death Mountain would be really cool. Maybe there's some Zoras. I'm not saying they have to be there, but it's Zoras. You know, maybe, I don't know. I haven't checked out all of it either, but I can understand where he's coming from. It's probably the most bare bones generic version of Hyrule that we've ever seen. But what do you expect with a Mario Kart course?
Howdy,
Like, I wouldn't expect much sauce.
howdy.
Wild Woods is a very pretty and charming
Wild
track.
Woods.
It's got lovely scenery that reminds me a lot of Napon Village from Xenoblade Chronicles. Or the fucking Ewok Village from Return of the Jedi, that too. There's good gameplay variety between the bridges, boost lily pads that move back and forth, and this awesome rushing water part. Was this too much to ask for, water park? It's a good course. Not an absolute favorite for me like it seems to be for a lot of other people though. It feels like it's over really quickly for me, and there's not a ton that stands out about it gameplay wise. But it's always just a good time, and I'm never unhappy playing on it. Seriously though, there are a ton of people who have this as one of their favorite courses, so I'd very much love to feature someone who has that opinion. Ooh, we got one. It's Silacock.
It was easy to overlook Wildwoods when it was introduced in the same DLC as Big Blue, but I think it's about time to pay its dues because between the phenomenal presentation and impressive layout variety that comprises a glider segment, fun turns, multiple jumps and routes, plus this kick-ass part where you speed down this stream of water inside a log, Wildwoods does something all great courses do, and that's somehow create a fully realized and self-contained world within a single racetrack. Also, you start the race on the side of a giant oak tree, so like, come on.
And there comes a giant fish!
The Mario Kart 8 version of Bowser's Castle is pretty good, but man does it not really stick in my mind whenever I'm not playing it. I usually have a ton of fun on it, but no real desire to pick it compared to other courses. It's got cool obstacles like fire bars and a spike ball, but then it's like, oh, okay, we're doing the giant mechanical Bowser thing again, huh? This is like the third console Mario Kart in a row to do that. And the implementation here is unique, since you have to pick which road he's not about to punch. But like, at this point, this really isn't much of a hook anymore. This course is better than the 7 version. I mean, it was hard to get worse than that. But this lacks the novelty of the giant mechanical Bowser on GameCube and Wii.
There's been like how many Bowser's Castles, so I can definitely understand that. Yeah, I can definitely understand that. Interesting. I like it. I like it. I think it's pretty. It's cool. Yeah, I got much else to say about it.
Nor does it have the uniqueness of the N64 and DS versions. It's still pretty good. All the 3D Bowser's Castles are pretty good, except 7's. And yet, with such steep competition, this is easily one of the more forgettable ones. I don't dislike it, but I don't love it either. Three item boxes in a row? Where were you guys earlier when I was talking about Bone Dry Dunes? Never mind, stupid question. It's Yinsid. He's another friend and editor who doesn't talk gaming a lot, but man was he down to talk some Bowser's Castle.
Peaches, 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 peaches. Oh, hi. So Mario Kart 8's version of Bowser's Castle would have to be my personal favorite iteration of the track. In my opinion, it's comparatively easier to come back from falling off edges in the game, so a lot of the obstacles like the falling boulders and giant Bowser allow for a welcome skill-based challenge. They all naturally fit with the atmosphere and add to the stunning design of the castle's interior. And the music is the cherry on top. Like, I have no doubt this is the kind of stuff that Bowser would listen to.
Or maybe it would be blues according to the Mario movie, but that's not important.
Wait, what's going on? Whoa, whoa!
Why are there so many rainbows?
SNES Rainbow Road, a course that actually deserves to be in 5 Mario Kart games, unlike some tracks I know. This version always stuck out to me as one of the prettiest looking courses in the base game. I adore the road itself and the reflections on the mountains in the background. The layout and plethora of ramps are satisfying, but the real star of the show here is the shockwaves you can trick off of, courtesy of the Thwomps. These shockwaves are so much more satisfying than the ones in Mario Kart 7's version. They really make this 30-year-old course feel so much more dynamic and exciting. All in all, a really good Rainbow Road and the second worst in the game. Imagine that. Excitebike Arena is the developers realizing, oh yeah, F-Zero isn't the only other racing franchise we own.
I love Excitebike.
Let's plop in a tribute to that one NES game where you just go over a bunch of ramps the whole time. This is a fairly divisive course since a lot of people prefer when Mario Kart tracks have good turns and aren't just, you know, f***ing ovals. But to me, it's all in the execution. And I always have a blast performing trick after trick. Like, it really is exhilarating. It's especially amazing on 200cc with how far you fly, but we're not factoring that into the ranking. Even so, it's a simple but pretty fun one. The layouts are even randomly generated each race to keep things fresh, which is pretty cool. Nothing too crazy, but I like it a lot. How many of you are furious that I didn't rank this one dead last? Be honest. I am very much a spreader of the Excitebike Arena agenda. And so is Macro.
I'm here to talk about Excitebike because Excitebike is literally the greatest map of all time. I don't care where Shafrillis places this on the tier list because it's S tier. And the only reason why is because of this bad boy right here. Look, he's not usually my main in Mario Kart, but at Excitebike, he dabs. He just dabs like crazy, dude. All he does is He was dabbing before it was cool. He was dabbing before it was lame. I love Excitebike. I love Donkey Kong. Thank you for letting me be in this video.
Alright, we're only halfway through the list. Good lord, why did I think this was a good idea? Well, I guess this will be my last battle mode ranking for the series. Good news is, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe has a great battle mode. I mean, they brought the feather back for it. How could I not be hyped? Come on! There are 5...
Okay, so I guess I was going to end it at 49, but we will be doing the battle modes as well.
Types of battling to pick from, the most any game in the series has had. Plus the maps are a mostly pretty solid selection. It's a little tricky to rank the maps since some of them are better or worse for certain battle modes than others, but I generally took the average of how I felt about each map across each mode to get my ranking. Oh, and here's a ranking for the modes themselves, I guess. Number 5 is Coin Runners. It's kinda boring, but at least it's better than the 7 version since you can have more than 10 coins. 4 is Balloon Battle, not the best iteration since it really could have used elimination like the N64 version. 3 is Bomb Blast. Literally just balloon battle, but more fun since chucking bombs at people is a blast. Get it? Like the title of the mode. Do you get it? 2, Renegade Roundup. It's cops and robbers, and it's pretty hectic and fun. I much prefer being the robbers, but gobbling people up with piranha plants is fun too. And number 1, Shine Thief. Nothing compares to the sheer chaos of trying to hold on to this shine sprite, as everyone on the map tries to hunt you down like you're John Wick or something. If you've never played this mode, you need to give it a try. But on which maps, you may ask? Well, here's my ranking. Number 8 is Lunar Colony. Honestly, the only map I don't really like, and my least favorite across every mode. These craters can be really annoying obstacles when you're trying to hit people with items, and the layout itself is kinda cramped and not that cohesive. Number 7, Battle Stadium. This one's okay, but the entire anti-gravity middle section is kinda useless, and I never really go on there. It's just way too big for my tastes overall. Number 6, GameCube Luigi's Mansion. Already we're getting into some really good maps. This one is also a little too big for my tastes, but it has a lot of variety and can be pretty fun, especially in Shine Thief with all the twisted corridors, and Bomb Blast where you can just snipe people from the roof. I'm glad this one came back, even though they probably just reused a lot of the assets from Twisted Mansion. Still, it's better than Twisted Mansion, so that's cool. Also, does this map remind anyone else of Boston Building, or is it just me? Number 5, Sweet Sweet Kingdom. Speaking of being better than a race course it's based on, 1, Sweet Sweet Kingdom is better than the race course it's based on. It's more visually distinct and tasty looking. Plus, it's a tightly packed arena with a lot of obstacles to hide behind and some layers to use in order to get people off your tail. Number 4, Urchin Underpass. It's the Splatoon battle map, which Nintendo refuses to actually bring back in the Splatoon series. Hey, it's on the Switch already, so we don't need to put it in Splatoon 2 or 3. Can't argue with that, I guess. It's not the easiest to maneuver through, which holds it back a bit, but it's still a pretty fun one that I enjoy in just about any mode. Plus, it has unique coins and sound effects reminiscent of Splatoon. Neat! Number 3, Dragon Palace. I'm telling you, they just made it a habit of picking the most mid race courses and making banger battle maps out of them. This course is really something special. From the windows you can smash out of, to the fact that everyone starts outside in Shine Thief while the Shine Sprite is inside, making for a memorable and fun mad dash, to the fact that there are 3 jail cells in Renegade Roundup, with the top floor being pretty difficult to get to. It's just a very memorable course in every mode you play it on, and I'd be very happy to see it come back in a future Mario Kart game. Number 2, Woohoo Town. I love Woohoo Island so much, and I'm so glad it at least got represented in this game through the battle map. It looks so glorious in HD, and the sheer abundance of routes through this town suit basically every mode to a T. My friends and I invented a special game on the newly opened up basketball court, where 2 of us grab a feather, drive to opposite sides of the court, and basically have a jousting match where we both try and use our feather to steal each other's balloons. It's really fun. I would highly recommend it. And number 1 is SNES Battle Course 1. I never in a million years would have expected that going into this game. But somehow, a Super Nintendo remake is the clear victor in every respect. This map is the perfect size, with the perfect amount of alternate pathways. Plus, you can use the feather to great effect here and jump over these walls. In Shine Thief, you can drive on the walls themselves, which is a great tactic. In Renegade Roundup, there's only 1 jail cell in the very center. This is the only map to do that, and it makes for such a unique gameplay experience with completely different strategies to the other maps. But my personal favorite thing about this one is the glider ramp. It's the only battle course to have one, and playing this mode in Bob-omb Blast, where you can gather 10 bombs, head over to the glider ramp, and then drop them all on unsuspecting players you fly over, is my absolute favorite experience in this entire battle mode. Again, it's so shocking how good this course is at basically everything. But yeah, SNES Battle Course 1 is my favorite map in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Well, that's the entire battle mode in this game talked about. What? Oh, you want me to talk about the original battle mode? Yeah, so if you don't know, back when this game first launched on Wii U, they straight up didn't finish the battle mode. Instead of creating actual battle maps for us to play on, they just repurposed some regular ass race courses for this mode. What? Excuse me? I think I played 1 or 2 matches of these back in the day and then said, nope, not happening. Because the experience of playing on these is about as awful as you'd expect. They were not built for battling in the slightest, and it's miserable trying to get a decent battle going. At least they brought back elimination for Balloon Battle. Even though if a player character dies, they can still hurt people as a ghost. So what was the point of them getting eliminated then? At least the bomb car you turn into in 64 was a once and done thing, as well as a very unique element to the mode. Here, I don't know, man, shit just straight up sucks. This is the worst battle mode the series has ever had, even outdoing Super Mario Kart in terms of its awfulness. But surely you don't actually expect me to rank these 8 race courses in terms of how they function as battle maps, right? Number 1, Yoshi Valley. That's right, we're going in reverse order. This is the only one that mildly resembles a real battle map because of all its alternate paths. With that said, they couldn't even close off the section where all the paths converge and just use the split path part. Really? Whatever. At least this is the only one they actually made alterations to, making it possible to go backwards on what used to be small ramps in the original race course version. It still sucks, but it's like 25% playable. The best map this mode has to offer by far. I'd put it in D tier. With that said, everything else in this game is an F tier battle map. This'll be fun! Number 2, Sherbet Land. There are some places you can duke it out on this version. You can hide underwater and pop out to ambush people. You can just take the glider again and again and hope you hit someone as you fly by. It still sucks a lot, but I hated it less than the other maps. I don't know. Number 3, Donut Plains 3. Once again, you can hide in the water, maybe. It's not as big as some of the other maps. Bleh. Number 4, Moo Moo Meadows. The cows are an annoying obstacle that makes you lose your balloons. And, I don't know, it's a fucking race course. What do you want me to say? Number 5, Dry Desert. Oh, goody, my favorite course is somehow even worse. There's just nothing to work with. The sinkhole isn't a great spot to do battle, and neither is the oasis. It's genuinely unbearable, and yet there are 3 courses that are better in terms of racing, but way more flawed and problematic in terms of battling somehow. Congrats for getting off the hook a little bit, Dry Desert. Number 6, Toad Harbor. Awful decision to make this a battle course. It was designed for you to go one way on it. I mean, all of these were, but this one especially just doesn't work if you're going backwards. Tons of dead ends, and it's so large and difficult to find people. The only section that could maybe work is the downhill slope at the end. But good luck getting the CPUs to stay in one place and fight you. They just keep moving around the course. And since it's elimination based, eventually you're gonna have to chase after them. And at that point, why aren't you just playing the racing mode? This mode was never meant to be played. Just don't do it, trust me. Number 7, Mario Circuit. Okay, now we're getting to the truly irredeemable shit. This is literally just a line with no large area to duke it out on. You just drive through the track normally and hope somebody passes you in the opposite direction so you can hit them with an item. That's what the gameplay on this course amounts to. How was this ever deemed acceptable to release? I don't understand. And that's not even the worst course? What's more terrible than trying to battle on a figure 8? I'll tell you, trying to battle on a figure 8 with a bunch of huge cars in your way. Number 8, Toad's Turnpike. Playing battle mode on this map might genuinely be the single worst gameplay experience in Mario Kart history. I can't think of anything that compares to the sheer agony of not being able to spot where your fellow players are because some dumbass Moo Moo Meadows truck is in your goddamn way. The obstacles on this course not only hinder your chances of keeping your balloons, but they also hinder your chances of ever finding anyone else to do battle with. It is the absolute worst. The sorriest excuse for a battle map ever. To the point where I don't even know if F tier accurately captures my feelings. This shit belongs in G tier. Congratulations, Toad's Turnpike. So that was the worst Mario Kart experience of all time. You're welcome.
Alright. So we... sorry if you can hear that outside. So we are going to be finishing up with 48 here. So this was a little bit longer one, but this was part 4. So, oh god, I'm not gonna lie to you. I wish I remembered more of the tracks, but due to the Battle Pass stuff, I kind of got that fudged out of my head. So there we go. Although I will say the Legend of Zelda one I was a little surprised with, and Excitebike, because Excitebike is great. I love Excitebike. If you never played Excitebike, play Excitebike. Alrighty, that's all I have to say for that. Oof, boy. Yeah. So I'll be probably slowing up a little bit on some of these uploads just due to some schooling and stuff, but we'll get that figured out. Anyways, I appreciate everybody watching. Be sure to check down all my links below, all the other good stuff. And as always, I'm Taylor from AfrofishOG. See you in part 5.